we're not going to have a ton of time to do some of the funner stuff like George Desantos, but we'll do a quick brief on that one. You're in New York. You should know about this. George Desantos was elected in New York. I think it's the House Representatives. Probably not even his real name. For years, he's gone by Anthony something else, right? Anthony Boulder, something like that. Anyway, turns out everything on his resume he lied about. He didn't go to college. His mother was not a survivor of the Holocaust. She's probably never even been to Germany or Europe.
Okay, so that's just a weird thing, right? Now, we're all taught, and sort of, I don't know about you, Duncan, but having like this sort of fear instilled on me that like it is illegal to lie on a job application, and you know, have to put these things about yourself on your resume, etc., and sort of, like an honor system thing. And a person doesn't really stop and think what literally happens when people aren't honest on them. Not to say it can't be found out, but many times these things just aren't checked up upon very much or very well. And so some people really do get away with just like making stuff up.
Well, part of this was, okay, so he's been elected. So there's not much you can do unless he resigns until he's up for re-election. Fortunately, he's in the House, so I think he's up for re-election in a couple of years. But he's not going to do that. He's already saddled up to Kevin McCarthy as the Speaker and basically promised him his vote to cover him. So he's in that position. But, I mean, it was just the litany of ridiculous things he lied about. Said he was a volleyball star at Baruch College where he went to school. Of course, he never went to school there. So, like, if you're going to pick something, volleyball at Baruch, I mean, I was the lead quarterback at Sarah Lawrence. It's like nobody cares. I mean, so just shit like that. But the big one that came out, I mean, so here's the deal with him. He's going to be in the House. There's nothing you can really do to stop it at this point, even though he's lied about everything. The fault is the Republicans didn't really check him out when they primaried him, which is kind of on them. And I would especially say it's on the New York Democrats. You should have checked this guy out during the race, because this should have been a slam dunk seat for you guys. Had you guys just taken a couple hours just to follow up with this guy, this would have been easy, because what they found out,
they would have realized it was all like a house of cards, a bunch of lies that just, it would have came tumbling down.
Yeah, and he's been kind of a con artist for most of his life. And recently, CNN just broke a big story on him where he was running this so-called charity where he was helping people with pets, or lower income people with their pet stuff. And they got a guy who was a homeless guy, and his dog is dead now, unfortunately, but his dog had cancer. And he was temporarily homeless for about a year or two because he broke his ankle and he lost his job. And he's an ex-Navy, he's a vet. He was living in a tent with his dog. Dog had a tumor. Vet said they could remove it and the dog would be okay for about $3,000. He didn't have the money. Vet tech told him, contact this guy. He runs a charity. So he did. And within about 3 months, they raised the money on a GoFundMe page, right? And then George Santos, who's now the representative in New York, didn't give him the money. He kept it. So he stole $3,000 from a homeless guy and let the guy's dog die. I mean, it's like, Jesus Christ.
I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
Who is stealing money from the homeless? I mean, let's bypass the stealing money at all, but like stealing money from the homeless, you really don't get a lot worse in terms of financial thievery than that.
Really, he stole the money from a homeless dog with cancer. That's what that's where this is like, but that's who he is. So we're not going to be able to get too much into that today because we got a lot of other shit to cover. So